right. This is an update for my YouTube page, at Adam the Vagabond. Um, this morning, you saw some of the issues that arise when you're staying at a homeless shelter. Right now, I'm actually filming from the location of my father's house, getting some of my things today. Might be going fishing, might not be. It's never really guaranteed. When you're homeless, 90% of your moves have to be about making money, to survive, pretty much. And right now, I'm actually in a pretty comfortable place. So when you get that chance, you might want to take advantage of it, and lay your head down for a while and get a place to sleep because at a rescue mission, typically during the day, you're not going to get a lot of sleep, for obvious reasons. If you're lucky enough, and that's if, because sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, depending on scenarios and how the day rolls. If you are lucky enough to have family and you're homeless, sometimes they'll let you be lucky enough to maybe stay a night, but some rescue missions are stricter than others, especially when it comes to being on a program. Sometimes you have a voucher and you have to be in by a certain time of night. So that time for me is 11, being around over there. But all in all, it goes without saying, if you have another place, and you're lucky enough to get a few minutes to chill out due to the day's stresses and whatnot like that, or you have somebody that you work for under the table, even to get some extra cash flow just to survive for the week. That's a luxury that a lot of homeless people don't have, but some do, because we have to hustle out there and make our money. Take full advantage of it while you can. That's my advice. Another thing, as you saw this morning, I'm talking to guys that live at the homeless shelter with me for right now, and you will commonly see issues like somebody defecating, unfortunately, in the shower. I had the I had the opportunity to take a shower this morning, and yeah, that didn't go well. I was awoken to a nice surprise of somebody defecating in the shower, and I approached the situation that I did because it was alleged that one of the people in that group did it. So I just simply asked, "Hey, I heard somebody defecate in the shower," to see if anybody would fess up to it. It should have been beknownst to me that they wouldn't have, but I just wanted to see where the conversation led because I was going to talk to them, whether it was on camera or off. Like I said, all this is unscripted. You're seeing what I see in all my daily interactions while being homeless. So that's pretty much all I have for you today, as an update, and kind of explain and go over what video one was about. Video one was pretty much just showing you some of my surroundings in the intermediate area that I'm staying in and giving you some of the history that I am aware of, in that area. Some of those buildings are profoundly amazing with the architect and stuff like that. And when you're homeless and stuff like that, and your mind is down and you're depressed and the only thing you're worried about is how I'm going to live from day on day out, it's little things like that that keep you going. That's been my experience when I was homeless in the past. Little things like hobbies, getting into architect, taking nature walks, they take your mind off of that for a little while, because you don't really have that much time to waste. um, when you are homeless, everything's got to be a money game. Everything's got to be, you got to be on top, because if you're not, that one day that you take a break from work could be an opportunity that you've missed to get money for things like food, cigarettes if you smoke, water, because everybody needs water, right? Um, I usually go to the 3 days, the rule of three. So it's basically 3 minutes without oxygen, you're dead. 3 days without water, you die. 3 days without food, you start to feel a little funky. And 3 days without sleep. And I live by the rule of three. And 3 minutes of bleeding before you start to pretty much die. So the rule of three is what I usually stick by. And if you have any medical background while you're out there doing these things, you could help another homeless person in need, or you could probably help yourself. It really is the difference between life and death out there on the streets. It can save you. It just takes a lot of common sense and a lot of know-how. But I digress. So today, pretty much, in video one, we walked the pretty much better half of East Utica. I didn't really go into the hood. We saw some interactions, but not many. It turns out that that guy kind of flaked on me today about the moving situation, so that's $50 lost. So now I have to come up with a way to make $50, you know, um, for this week, so I have something to eat and something to drink, for the day. Yeah. So that's where I'm at, with life right now. Um, right now it's just a hustle game, hustle to hustle and get money, you know, because that's pretty much dire in my situation. I need to have money so that I can eat and drink, you know. We saw conversations this morning in video 2 that's going to be posted shortly today at some time, hopefully after video 1, um, where they were talking about the defecation in the shower this morning. So it really hindered my ability to take a shower, and a lot of people don't understand that the last few places that I lived at, unfortunately, whether it was my time out in Spafford or my time out in Fort Plain, very dirty places. And I'm sorry if you take offense to it, to the people that I'm talking about, but I don't know who in their right mind would take a shower in a place infested with roaches, rats, bed bugs. Yeah, no, sorry. I'd rather take my chances shower in that of a creek, But I would like to say my hygiene was poor at the time because of that reason. So I'm very I have sensory, so I'm very keen on what I step on when my feet are wet, and I hate not wearing socks for good reason, especially in environments like that, which is pretty much all I've ever known. So getting me out of that habit is like pretty much bringing up a dog on a steak only diet and then expecting it not to bite a steak when you set the steak in front of it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not a good analogy, but maybe it is. So hygiene is another thing in the streets. When you're on the streets, as much as I am, you need to take proper hygiene for yourself because there is diseases that do float around. So right now, I have my own hygiene kit, and I don't have it with me right now because I left my backpack downstairs. But in that hygiene kit, I have deodorant, a couple of them. I have toothbrush and toothpaste, even though that the toothpaste they don't like. So I mainly just stuck to mouthwash and a toothbrush, and it does the same difference. Um, yeah, so that's another thing that you have to take into account when being homeless, is that you want to keep up on your hygiene and stay as clean as possible when you're out there. That even means clipping your nails and getting the dirt under your nails and stuff because you can be open to infection while out there on the streets. There's a lot of different diseases out there. Be careful of the people you interact with, share cigarettes and drinks with. You never know what they have, you know, and just be well aware of your surroundings. As you heard me talk about that a little bit last night on video 1, when we were interacting with that one female who thought that she knew me from somewhere. Like it could be like that. I could have passed a gang member and they could have thought, and it would have been a very different conversation if they mistake me for someone that they didn't like. As for the parental advisory, I will be putting that on every single one of my videos when I'm out in the streets because, like I said before, there are circumstances that I can't guarantee my safety or the safety of other people while being in an environment like that. But I'm trying to document as much of my POV as I can. All of this is unscripted. None of this is all from my point of view. This is what I see. I'd figure if I'm bored, I might as well start a hobby, and maybe other people will follow the trend to raise awareness of homeless people and try to get them as much help as possible. And shout out to the Landmark Society for doing what they can for those mansions because when you're homeless, it means a lot to see things like that. If you have an interest in architecture, it's little things like that that keep me going and make me happy to see. I've always had an interest in all the old buildings and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to them. 100%. And if you want to donate, I can put a link into the description below um, and give you their information. They're trying to raise $400,000 to repair those mansions that are there. Right now, they've only reached about 100,000 to my recollection, if I remember seeing that sign correctly. So they only need $300,000 more to repair some of those mansions. And as you saw from last night, the back of that mansion was all falling in, and it's kind of a shame to see it in that condition. I'd like to see it complete by the time I'm at least 40, give or take. I'm 26 right now. I have my whole life ahead of me, so someday in my lifetime, I'd hope to see that be brought to life. Um, I usually stop, so we don't have Wi-Fi at the homeless shelter. So I go to another homeless shelter up the street and get my Wi-Fi. So it takes a while for me to upload my videos between the pauses and whatnot. When I can upload, I will. But I usually save my cache of videos right to my Google Photos, and that's it. Some days it's not guaranteed that I'll upload. Other days it is. It depends on how it goes. Plus, this is like a dollar store phone, you know. So I have to work with what I got, and maybe I can, when I get a more steady job and more steady income, I can, you know, afford maybe even a GoPro and film from that and upload and keep you guys interested if you would like that. I'll also be going on other adventures as soon as I can afford to take time off from hustling and doing work for people so I can get money to do those kind of things. But right now, all the money's going towards my survival. So, um, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to meet other people and have more random, weird conversations with people, and see how people's days are going. Um, that's pretty much what it is. It's a hobby, seeing what people are up to, and you know, communicating and helping people out when they need it, because you never know when you're going to be when you're in need, and where they're going to be, and they might help you out. There's not enough niceness in the world anymore. A lot of people are cold and not so giving. And unfortunately, it's because a lot of people take advantage of that. And unfortunately, through my entire experience, I've usually been the one to be taken advantage of. But I'm not going to let that stop me from giving, to people who deserve it, because there's very few of you out there that that do deserve that kind of care. And trust me, I've dealt with it all my life, but I'm not going to let that stop me from being a caring person and helping out, giving people cigarettes if they ask, and you know, having conversations, because it could be that one conversation that saves somebody's life. Asking a simple, "Hey, how you doing?" versus waking up and having people feel like no one cares about them. That could be the minute, you change someone's life like that. Just a 5 second, "Hey, how are you doing?" You know, and mental health awareness is a huge thing with me, because I myself suffer from a lot of mental health problems, and I suffered with addiction. I'm still going through it. I'm clean now for the most part, but you know, I still have my triggers. But that's all for today right now, and I will get back to you. Thank you.